Captain Alex Ryder floated above the strange blue-green planet, watching its thick forests and sparkling rivers. He had traveled many light years with his small crew, searching for new worlds and allies. His ship, the Horizon, landed gently on a wide plateau, and Alex took a deep breath. This planet felt alive in a way Earth never had. Birds, or something like them, flew in flocks that shimmered in the sunlight, and giant flowers turned slowly toward the sun, almost as if they were watching him. He stepped out of the ship in his exploration suit, scanning the area with his sensors. The readings showed intelligent life nearby, but no one appeared yet. The forest was quiet. Too quiet. Alex's instincts told him something was not right. A sudden scream shattered the silence. Alex's heart jumped. It was a child's voice, high and frightened, echoing from the dense forest. Without thinking, he ran toward the sound. Branches whipped at his suit, but he pushed forward. In a small clearing, he saw her, a young Xylarian child no older than 6 by human standards. Her skin was pale with faint blue stripes, and her large golden eyes were wide with fear. She was cornered by a predator, an animal unlike anything Alex had ever seen. It had 6 legs, a long spiny tail, and sharp claws that dug into the soft ground. The child backed away slowly, trembling. "Hey, over here," Alex shouted, waving his arm. The creature turned, noticing him. Without hesitation, Alex fired a non-lethal energy net. The predator yelped and retreated, caught and tangled in the glowing strands. Alex rushed forward and scooped the child into his arms. She froze, unsure whether to scream or trust him. "It's okay," Alex said gently. "You're safe now. I won't hurt you." The child blinked, staring into his eyes, then buried her face in his shoulder. "Father," she whispered softly. Alex froze. He had expected fear or confusion, not this. "Father," he repeated. No, I'm not your father. I just saved you." But the word stuck in her mouth and she clung to him like he was the only person in the universe. Alex realized she had no one else. Her real parents were probably gone. He had to protect her even if it meant risking his mission. "All right," he said quietly. "I'll keep you safe. Just come with me." He carried her back to the ship. The moment they stepped inside, Alex checked her vital signs. Everything was normal, but she was shaking. He wrapped her in a soft blanket and gave her some water. She drank slowly, still holding his hand. "Where are your parents?" Alex asked gently. She shook her head, unable to answer. He sighed. "Okay. We'll figure it out. You can stay here with me for now." Just as he was trying to think of what to do next, the ship's sensors detected movement. Outside, dozens of tall, regal figures emerged from the forest. Their skin glowed softly and their long robes shimmered with strange patterns. Alex recognized them as Xylarians, the dominant species of this planet. The leader stepped forward, her golden crown catching the sunlight. Alex's chest tightened. She was beautiful, imposing, and clearly very powerful. The queen of the Xylarians. "You have taken our child," she said in a voice both sharp and melodic. Her eyes fixed on Alex, filled with anger and disbelief. "I saved her," Alex said calmly. "She was in danger. She's safe now. I didn't—" "She calls you the father," the queen interrupted, her voice trembling. "Why does my daughter call you father human?" Alex hesitated. He had never seen such a reaction from any alien before. This was not anger alone. There was shock, confusion, and maybe even fear. I didn't tell her to call me that," Alex said carefully. "I only helped her. She trusts me, that's all." The queen's gaze softened slightly as she studied the child who clung to Alex without fear. "She has never done this with anyone," the queen said. "No Xylarian, not even me." Alex nodded. "I understand. I'm not trying to replace anyone. I couldn't let her die." The queen looked torn. Her guards shifted nervously behind her, unsure of what to do. Alex realized the situation was delicate. One wrong move could turn the Xylarians against him and his crew. "Please," he said softly, holding out a hand to the Queen. I mean no harm. I only want to protect her and help her. I will return her if you wish, but not while she is in danger. The Queen studied him for a long moment. The child looked up at Alex and whispered again, Father. The Queen's eyes widened. She stepped back, her hands trembling. This is impossible, she murmured. Alex didn't know what to say. He could only stand quietly, letting the Queen take in the scene, a human holding her child calm and protective with no aggression or deceit. Finally, the Queen spoke, her voice steady but careful. You may keep her for now, but you will be observed. Any harm human, and there will be consequences you cannot imagine. Alex inclined his head. Understood. I promise. She will be safe. The Queen signaled her guards to step back. She lingered for a moment, her golden eyes fixed on him, then vanished silently into the forest with the other Xylarians. Alex let out a slow breath. The immediate danger was gone, but he knew the real challenge had just begun. This child, Lyra, had unknowingly placed him in a position that no human had ever faced before, earning the trust of an alien queen while caring for her daughter. Lyra looked up at him and smiled faintly. Father? She asked again, her small hand gripping his. Alex smiled back a little awkwardly. Yeah, for now you can call me that. He didn't know what the future held, but one thing was certain. This planet, its people, and this small child were about to change his life forever. Alex Ryder spent the night in the small cabin of the horizon, the Xylarian child Lyra sleeping peacefully beside him. He had barely slept himself, turning over the events of the day. The Queen's words kept echoing in his mind. Any harm human, and there will be consequences you cannot imagine. The forest outside was quiet now, but Alex knew it could erupt at any moment. The Xylarians were highly intelligent, and one human mistake could start a war. He needed to be careful. Before he could think of a plan, an alarm blared on the ship's console. Alex rushed to the control panel. Outside, a group of Xylarian guards approached. They were armed with sleek energy weapons, and their movements were precise. Leading them was the Queen herself. Her golden eyes burned with authority, her presence commanding. Alex took a deep breath and stepped outside, Lyra holding his hand tightly. You have kept my daughter with you, the Queen said, her voice calm but edged with anger. Explain why she calls you Father. Alex knelt slightly to be at Lyra's level. She trusts me. She was alone and scared. I helped her. That is all. I did not teach her to call me Father. She did it herself. The Queen's golden eyes narrowed. No Xylarian child has ever done this. You have formed a bond that is unnatural. I didn't mean to, Alex said honestly. I only acted to save her. I didn't think it would happen like this. Lyra looked up at the Queen. Mother, she said softly, her voice innocent. He saved me. He is my father now. The Queen staggered slightly, her eyes widening in shock. Guards murmured behind her. Impossible, she whispered. How can a human? Alex stayed calm. He could feel the tension building, but he refused to show fear. Your daughter is brave and smart, he said. She made the choice herself. I only helped her. The Queen's face was a mixture of anger, disbelief, and something else Alex could not name. She raised her hand and a small device in her palm glowed. A holographic screen appeared showing data about Lyra, her heart rate, her genetic markers, her brain activity. Everything was normal, perfectly healthy. Nothing in the readings explained her attachment to a human. This is beyond understanding, the Queen said softly, her voice almost lost in wonder. How can a human create such loyalty? Alex realized she wasn't just angry, she was fascinated. He spoke carefully. I come from a world where trust and protection matter. When someone is scared, they look for someone who will help, someone who will fight for them. That's all it is. The Queen looked down at her daughter, who now clung to Alex's leg. Lyra's golden eyes mirrored her mother's, but with something different: love and trust. The Queen's hands trembled slightly. "You will be observed," the Queen said finally, her voice firm. "But I will not take her from you yet. I will watch. I will see if your presence harms or helps her." Alex nodded. "I promise she will. Be safe. I only want what is best for her." For a moment the Queen seemed to hesitate. Then she turned and signaled her guards to step back. "This is not over, human," she said. "Do not misunderstand my tolerance. You are being tested." Alex smiled faintly. "I understand." As the Queen and her guards disappeared back into the forest, Lyra looked up at him. "Father, will she come again?" she asked, worry in her small voice. "Yes," Alex said, putting a comforting hand on her shoulder. "But don't worry. I will keep you safe." That night, Alex studied the Xilarian culture and history. He learned that their society valued loyalty above all else and rarely allowed outsiders to interact with their children. His bond with Lyra was unusual, maybe unprecedented, but he realized that it was also an opportunity. By showing kindness, courage, and wisdom, humans could earn respect in ways Xilarians never expected. The next morning the Queen returned, alone this time. She carried herself with royal dignity, her eyes watching Alex carefully. "I have been thinking," she said. "Your actions contradict what I know of your species. You are unusual." "I try to do what is right," Alex said simply. "It is not about species. It is about choices." The Quez's gaze softened slightly, but her words remain. Days passed, and the bond between Alex Rider and Lyra grew stronger. The small Xilarian girl followed him everywhere, her golden eyes bright with curiosity. Alex spent his time teaching her not only survival skills but also stories about Earth, about humans, their cities, their inventions, and their ways of thinking. Lyra listened eagerly, fascinated by tales of human courage and teamwork. She asked endless questions, her sharp mind absorbing every detail. "Father," she said one morning, pointing to a small gadget Alex had brought from the ship, "how does this work?" Alex smiled, showing her how to operate the simple tool. "It measures energy and movement. Humans use it to understand their surroundings, see? It's easy if you pay attention." Lyra's small hands worked carefully, and soon she was reading the numbers herself. Alex watched with quiet pride. She was smart, smarter than most humans her age. But more than intelligence, it was her willingness to trust him that mattered most. Unseen, the Queen observed from the edge of the forest. Hidden behind a hill, she watched every interaction. At first, she had come out of anger, wanting to ensure that Alex did not harm her daughter. Now she found herself studying him closely, noticing his patience, his calmness, and the care he gave to Lyra without any demand for loyalty or reward. "Why? Why is he like this?" the Queen murmured to herself. "Why does he inspire such trust? No Xilarian ever commands it so easily." The Queen had spent centuries raising her children and observing her people. She knew that trust was built slowly through tradition, authority, and sometimes fear. But Alex had gained it through something else entirely: kindness, courage, and protection. Back at the ship, Alex set up a small lesson area for Lyra. He taught her how to map the stars, showing how constellations could guide travelers across vast distances. Lyra traced lines with her fingers, her eyes wide. "This is amazing," she whispered. "Can humans really travel this far?" Alex nodded. "Yes, it's hard and dangerous, but humans are determined. We don't give up easily. That's how we survive." Lyra thought for a moment. "I want to be like you, Father. Brave and kind." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had saved her from a predator, but now he was guiding her mind and heart. He realized that humans had an unusual way of connecting, even with alien minds. It was not through power, but through empathy and understanding. Meanwhile, the Queen returned to her palace, where she discussed Alex's behavior with her council. Many Xilarians were skeptical, unsure how a human could gain a child's trust. so easily. Others watched from curiosity, wondering if humans were truly as strange and capable as Alex seemed. "He is changing her," one council member whispered, "and through her, he may change us." The Queen remained silent, thinking deeply. She had witnessed acts of courage, kindness, and intelligence that reminded her of qualities she had rarely seen in her own people. Humans were different, yes, but perhaps in ways that were valuable. Back at the ship, Alex noticed Lyra's fascination with alien technology. Though she had lived among her people, she had never examined machines closely. He showed her how to operate simple devices safely, explaining the principles behind them. Lyra's golden eyes sparkled with understanding as she began experimenting carefully. "You're teaching her a lot," said a voice behind him. Alex turned to see the Queen standing just outside the ship, her expression neutral but her eyes keen. "I'm not trying to replace anyone," Alex said calmly. "I only want her to understand. Knowledge is power, but also protection." The Queen stepped closer. "And she trusts you completely. How?" Alex shrugged. "I listen, I help, I protect. That's what humans do for each other. She sees that, and she chooses to trust me. That's all." The Queen studied him, her thoughts conflicted. She had always valued logic and tradition, but Alex's actions defied both. Here was a human who acted with neither fear nor self-interest, yet earned loyalty naturally. "You are unusual human," she said finally. "Perhaps there is much we do not understand about your species." Alex smiled. "Maybe, but anyone can show care and courage. It's not special, just human." Lyra tugged at Alex's hand. "Come on, Father. I want to show you something." She led him to a small grove filled with luminous plants. She had discovered them during her own explorations. Alex marveled at the glowing flora, noting their energy patterns and growth cycles. "You've got a sharp mind," he said. "I'm impressed." Lyra beamed. "I want to learn everything." The Queen watched quietly from the edge of the grove. Her daughter was thriving under Alex's care, showing intelligence, bravery, and curiosity. Yet she also realized something unsettling. Lyra's admiration for Alex was growing faster than any bond she herself had ever formed. Returning to the ship, Alex prepared a meal for Lyra using supplies he had brought. She helped him carefully, learning about different foods and how humans combined them for energy and health. "You see," Alex said, "even small things matter. Caring for yourself and others is important." Lyra nodded, absorbing every lesson. She trusted him completely, and Alex knew that this trust would become the foundation for something much larger, a bridge between their two species. As night fell, the forest glowed under twin moons, and Alex stood outside the ship, watching the stars. Lyra rested beside him, leaning on his shoulder. "Do you think my mother will ever understand?" she asked softly. Alex smiled gently. "She will. It takes time, but she will see what you see. Humans can be trusted, and our actions show our hearts." The Queen, hidden in the shadows, watched the human and her daughter. Her heart was conflicted. Alex Rider was changing more than just Lyra. He was changing her perception of what humans could be. And in that quiet moment, the Queen realized that the galaxy had just introduced a force she had never expected. A human who could earn loyalty, respect, and perhaps even love across worlds. The peaceful days on the Xylarian planet came to an abrupt end. Early one morning, alarms blared across the horizon and the surrounding settlements. Alex Rider rushed to the control deck, Lyra clinging to his arm. On the holographic display, red markers blinked rapidly. Ships approaching from the neighboring star system, a rival faction known for aggression and conquest. "They're attacking," Alex said calmly, though his mind raced. "We need to protect the planet and her people." Lyra's golden eyes widened. "Father, what do we do?" Alex smiled gently, kneeling to her level. "We fight smart, not just strong. Humans use their brains as much as their strength. I'll teach you." He quickly coordinated with the Xylarian defense forces. They had advanced technology, but their tactics were rigid and slow. Alex suggested strategies based on human combat, flanking maneuvers, surprise attacks, and using the environment to their advantage. The Xylarians were skeptical at first, but his calm confidence inspired them to follow his plan. The invaders arrived in waves. Their ships were large, armed with heavy energy cannons. The skies lit up as the Xylarian defense launched counterattacks. Explosions rocked the ground as Alex directed small squads to key positions, using both Xylarian technology and human ingenuity. Lyra stood beside him, observing intently. "Father, they're everywhere," she whispered. "Yes, but we are smarter," Alex said firmly. "Watch and learn. Focus on what they can't expect." Using the terrain to their advantage, Alex set traps and ambushes. The forest itself became a weapon. The glowing plants distracted enemy sensors, and narrow valleys channeled the attackers into vulnerable positions. Xylarian soldiers began to see the effectiveness of his strategies. During the battle, Alex noticed Lyra acting bravely. She guided injured soldiers to safety, handed tools, and even assisted in minor tactical adjustments. Her quick thinking impressed him. "You're doing amazing," he said quietly. As the first wave of invaders retreated, a larger, more powerful squadron appeared. Alex realized they could not rely on brute force alone. They needed to outthink the enemy. He coordinated with the Xylarian engineers to adapt their technology, combining energy shields with human-style tactical maneuvers. The Queen appeared at the command center, observing from a safe distance. She watched Alex calmly directing the defense, unafraid of the overwhelming enemy. She felt a mixture of relief and awe. This human was not only brave, but intelligent, able to turn a desperate situation into a calculated fight. The second wave of the enemy attacked with even greater intensity. Ships swooped low, firing energy blasts at Xylarian fortifications. Alex directed fighters to use evasive patterns while smaller squads struck at weak points in the enemy formation. His methods were unconventional for Xylarian standards, but they worked. Lyra followed his instructions, helping coordinate medical teams and warning of incoming attacks. "Father, this side is weak," she shouted. Her voice carried across the battlefield. Alex nodded, adjusting the strategy instantly. The battle raged for hours. Explosions shook the ground, and the sky was painted with streaks of energy. Yet Alex never panicked. Every move was calculated, every decision deliberate. Slowly, the enemy began to falter, their confidence shaken by tactics they could not predict. Finally, the remaining invaders retreated into space, leaving behind damaged ships and scattered debris. The Xylarians cheered, though exhaustion showed on their faces. The Queen stepped forward, her golden eyes studying Alex closely. You have saved many of my people today," she said softly, almost in disbelief. "And you did not seek glory, only protection." Alex shook his head. The days after the battle were quieter, but the atmosphere was still tense. The Xylarians were grateful for Alex Ryder's help, yet many of their elders whispered among themselves, unsure how to feel about a human influencing their children. The Queen, however, watched carefully, her golden eyes following every action of Alex and Lyra. Alex spent most of his time teaching Lyra and helping the Xylarians rebuild what the attack had damaged. He showed them ways to repair technology faster, adapt defensive systems, and even use creative strategies that combined human problem-solving with Xylarian science. Lyra's progress amazed everyone. She learned quickly, not only absorbing Alex's teachings but also improving them with her natural intelligence. She started helping the engineers, organizing small teams, and even giving suggestions that Alex found clever. One morning, as Alex and Lyra worked near the central plaza, the Queen arrived quietly. She did not announce her presence, but Alex noticed her silhouette against the bright sky. "Your lessons are remarkable," the Queen said, her voice calm but strong. "She is learning faster than I imagined, and yet I still wonder why she calls you father." Alex looked at her and then at Lyra, who was showing a group of young Xylarians how to fix a small energy generator. She trusts me because I am here when she needs help, he explained. I do not demand anything. I protect, guide, and support, that is all. The Queen studied him in silence. She had spent centuries teaching her own children the ways of Xylarian culture. Loyalty and obedience had always been central, but she realized that Alex was showing her something different, something powerful. Humans, she said slowly, almost to herself, gain trust through action, not command. Perhaps there is wisdom in this. Lyra ran over, her face bright with excitement. Mother, look what we built. See, Father helped me figure it out. She hugged Alex, her golden eyes shining. The Queen watched the scene quietly, her heart caught between pride, confusion, and a strange admiration. This human had not only saved her daughter and her people, but had inspired bravery, creativity, and trust without force. That evening, the Queen called Alex to her palace. The guards bowed, and Alex followed, Lyra holding his hand. The Queen led him to a quiet room filled with glowing crystals that bathed the space in soft light. You have done more than protect her, the Queen said, finally speaking the words she had been struggling with. You have guided her, inspired her, and she has come to see you as a father. Alex bowed slightly. I never meant to replace anyone. I only wanted to keep her safe and help her grow. The Queen nodded. And yet, the bond between you two has grown stronger than I imagined. She calls you father because she trusts you completely and she believes in you. That is something even I cannot deny. Alex looked at her seriously. I respect you, Your Majesty. I understand that she is your daughter and that her future is important. My role is only to guide and protect, not to interfere with who she is meant to become. The Queen studied him, and for the first time she allowed herself to see Alex as more than a human outsider. She saw his courage, his patience, and his intelligence. She realized that humans had strengths her people had rarely witnessed: empathy, adaptability, and the ability to inspire loyalty without fear. You have changed my perspective, Alex Rider, the Queen said quietly. Perhaps humans are not just visitors to this galaxy. Perhaps you are a force for something greater, something we can learn from. Alex smiled humbly. Maybe we all have something to teach each other. That's how we grow, through understanding and trust. Lyra tugged at Alex's sleeve. Mother, can I stay with him, please? She asked, her voice filled with hope. The Queen looked at her daughter and then at Alex. She could see the joy and trust in Lyra's eyes. For the first time, she felt a shift in her own heart. Very well, she said softly. You may continue to stay with him. But know this, your actions, human, will continue to be observed. You must never harm her in thought or deed. Alex bowed. I promise. She is safe with me, always. Over the next few days, the Queen began to allow Alex more freedom in teaching and guiding Lyra. The other Xylarian children started showing interest in his lessons, learning from him as he balanced human ingenuity with Xylarian knowledge. Through these small acts, Alex demonstrated not only skill but also humility. He encouraged cooperation, creativity, and problem-solving, not just obedience. Slowly, the Xylarian elders began to see the value in human ways of thinking. Lyra, full of energy, ran to Alex one morning with a new invention she had devised. Look, Father, I figured out how to make the energy flow stronger and faster. Alex laughed, genuine pride in his voice. You've done it, Lyra, that's brilliant. You've taken what we learned and improved it. That's exactly how humans grow, by trying, failing, and trying again. The Queen watched from afar, a small smile on her lips. She realized that Alex Rider had not only earned her daughter's trust but also her respect. She had been skeptical at first, even angry, but now she understood the truth. Humans could achieve greatness not through dominance, but through courage, intelligence, and compassion. As night fell and the twin moons lit the sky, Alex stood with Lyra on a balcony overlooking the forest. We've come a long way, he said softly. Lyra leaned on him, smiling. Yes, Father, and we will go further. Together. The queen watched from her private chambers, her golden eyes thoughtful. The human had shown her a future she had never considered, a future where her daughter could grow, learn, and thrive with guidance from someone who valued heart as much as skill. And in that quiet moment, the queen whispered to herself, "Perhaps humans are not only strong in body and mind, but strong in ways I never imagined." Alex did not know the full impact of his actions yet, but one thing was certain. He had earned trust, respect, and the beginnings of friendship with one of the galaxy's most powerful leaders. And in doing so, humanity had made its mark on the Xylarians, not through conquest but through understanding, courage, and care. The morning sun spread golden light across the Xylarian palace, glinting off the crystal spires and casting long shadows over the courtyard. Alex Rider stood with Lyra at his side, watching the city come to life. The battle had ended days ago, and the planet was returning to normal. But the events of recent weeks had changed everything, not just for Lyra, but for the Queen, her people, and Alex himself. The Queen arrived in the courtyard, her golden eyes calm yet intense. She was surrounded by her council, the most influential figures of Xylarian society. Alex straightened, showing respect without fear. Lyra ran ahead, calling out, "Mother! Father!" The Queen's eyes softened as she looked at her daughter, then at Alex. "This day is important," she said. "We gather not for ceremony, but for recognition. The human, Alex Rider, has proven himself to be more than an outsider. He has guided, protected, and inspired. Today we acknowledge this openly." Alex bowed slightly. "I am honored, Your Majesty. My only goal has been the safety and growth of your daughter." Lyra ran to Alex, hugging his leg tightly. "Father, will you stay with me?" The Queen looked down at them, her expression unreadable for a moment. Then, in a quiet voice, she said, "Yes, he will stay with her. He has earned this trust as well as my respect. From this day forward, he shall be recognized as her adoptive father in all matters of Xylarian society." A murmur ran through the assembled council. Some Xylarians were surprised, others cautious, but the Queen's word carried authority. Alex had earned his place, not through dominance, but through courage, intelligence, and care. Alex knelt to meet Lyra's gaze. "I will stay with you, Lyra, and I will always protect you as I promised." Lyra's golden eyes shone with joy. "I knew you would, Father." The Queen studied Alex carefully. "You have not only protected her life, human. You have taught her courage, wisdom, and compassion. You have also shown my people the strength of your kind. Perhaps humanity is a species we have underestimated." Alex nodded humbly. "We are not perfect, but we try to do what is right. Trust and courage can go further than power alone." The Queen's voice softened. "I see now that humans can inspire loyalty without fear, can lead with heart and mind. This is a lesson we will remember." Across the courtyard, Xylarian children gathered, curious and excited. Lyra took Alex's hand and led them in, showing the repairs and innovations they had learned from him. The Queen observed quietly, noting how her people were beginning to see the value in collaboration, curiosity, and empathy, the human way. Alex explained simple tools, taught problem-solving, and encouraged experimentation. "Try it your way," he told them. "Learn from mistakes. That is how growth happens." The Xylarians, once skeptical, began to listen, ask questions, and apply his lessons. Slowly, their admiration for him grew. It was not just for his skill in battle, but for the way he connected with others, inspiring courage and trust in everyone. The Queen stepped forward, placing a gentle hand on Lyra's shoulder. "You have chosen well, my daughter. Your father is not of our species, yet he has shown loyalty, wisdom, and care. You have both taught us something important today." Lyra smiled brightly at Alex. "See, Father? Mother understands now." Alex laughed softly. "Yes, Lyra, she understands." The Queen studied Alex once more. "I will not pretend to fully comprehend humans yet," she said, but I see the value in their ways. Their courage, empathy, and intelligence are remarkable. You have left a